talking about Tahoe?
Sure.
Well, I think, Steve and I recognized probably 8 or 9 years ago that we were on track. We have a solid business. We're very focused and intentional, and a lot of times we realized we don't need to both be going on the same listing appointment or the buyer appointment. I mean, it was kind of like duplicating our work. Like, let's kind of, we have one client or clients are going to gravitate towards one of us, even though we each always have a hand in every transaction that we do. There's always a leader, right? And we bought a condo in Incline in 2012 when our kids were little, and I used to run back then. So before the kids would get up, I'd run down Lakeshore, and Lakeshore is Billionaire Boulevard in Incline Village. And I used to see these real estate signs and just be like, God, if they can do it, why can't I do this someday? And it wasn't that it was unattainable, it was aspirational, right? That was like kind of my dream. And so when COVID hit and we were literally in like shelter in place lockdown, I decided that was when I was going to go get my Nevada license. I'm like, okay, I have time, I'm going to do this right now and knock it out. I did, and then of course we all opened up and got super busy, so I tabled that for a year or so. But I was very intentional in knowing that I would be an asset to Incline Village. Like, my mindset was, they need me, and I'm going to be good at this and good for them. And I very much curated, my team way in advance. I actually talked to other brokerages, thinking I need full support. I need to understand this. I want to be really good at this. And in the end, we decided it was best to stay with Sereno and just hang my broker's license and up there. But it wasn't easy. I went after a $75 million listing that was expired right away. It happened to be the highest priced home ever on Lake Tahoe. I spent like 5 months talking back and forth with these people. We went to dinner with them, a few weeks later to talk about, the plan. And they totally rejected me. They're like, why would we give our trophy house to you? You've never sold anything in Lake Tahoe. And I was like, okay, well, you're right, but I'm going to. And I just had this very like conviction attitude, right? Like I guess it comes with years of experience or where I am in my career or my life. And I just felt that I'm going to do this. Like, I'm totally committed. I'm going to be good at it, and I'm a threat. I should be a threat to everybody because I'm coming in with better work ethic, better experience. I'm collaborative. I'm honest. I, work hard for my clients, and I knew that market was very different. They're like the Wild West. They're very close to the vest. They don't collaborate. They're selfish. They want to double end things. It's just a different world up there. So that was kind of my plateau. I went in. I networked. I knew people up there. I entrenched myself in the community, especially in the summer. That's my favorite time to be there. I met the right people, and I got the right opportunity.
So maybe summarize, it sounds like then, how did those no's evolve into what really pushed on
the record sale?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. The Wynn estate, which was the record sale for $62 million that I sold under a year, which, by the way, these houses that come up like this take 5-6 years to sell. So it was pretty rapid that it happened. The seller knew the other seller that I didn't get and turned me down. And so when I got it, we ran into the seller of the other one, and he's like scratching his head like, I just can't believe it, But I don't know, the no's it didn't stop me from getting out in front of people, right? I just needed to find the right one. And and then the business in the Bay, which was always the intention. My intention actually never really was to go in and start marketing myself in Lake Tahoe. When I got my license during COVID, it was to facilitate our existing clients who suddenly called us and wanted to come to Tahoe. It was like an additional service that we were providing. It wasn't like, I'm leaving my husband and going to Tahoe now, that was never in the game plan. But like, I had the courage and confidence to say, hey, this $75 million house has been on the market 5 years. I know it perfectly. We see it on the lake all the time. Why not go after it? Like, why not? And so then when I landed the Wynn estate, that just put me on the map. And so it's just been, now I'm getting calls, and that's kind of.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Brilliant. You have to just, like Ryan just did that gap in the game. I loved that. I didn't read the book, but I totally understood what it was about. Resilience, just like move on. I'm like, I don't care. If I didn't get it, I don't care. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I don't sit here and dwell over it. I just go on to the next. You know, that's just kind of my attitude. Like, you just gotta go, keep going. There might be a lesson in there, there might not, but I don't really think about it for more than 15 seconds and I'm over it. I think, you know, the pattern, I think where I'm at in my life now is more like leadership. Like, I'm really trying to design the life I want to live. You have to continue with that all your life, right? I want a successful team and I want a close family. I mean, that doesn't happen by accident, that's intentional. I work on my behavior. I can be very direct and demanding. I know that about myself, okay? It has actually fueled my business. I move fast. I'm not afraid of hard conversations, but I can be aggressive in my delivery. And so I've had to self-aware and be soft sometimes. You know, like, I think in our business, I'm the tiger and Steve's the dog, right? Steve's everybody's best friend. They love him and they're like, watch out, here she comes. and ironically, at home, it's completely the opposite. I'm the calm demeanor and he's the popping off all the time. And that is so true. You can ask our team. But I think I think that I have to work on that. That is something that I know, I'm aware, self-aware of it. I work on it and I try to use it when I need to use it, and I need to soften when I need to soften.
That's phenomenal.